Hello there. In this short video, I'll share with you a principle so simple yet so profound that when you use it, you'll solve most of the problems that you experience as a leader and manager. After watching, you may never look at your working life in the same way again. If a silver bullet exists, this is probably it. I'll also give you some practical things that you can do straight away to put the principle into action. So let's get started with a few questions for you. Do you find yourself with far too many things to do? Are you working long hours? Do you receive more emails every day than you know what to do with? Is your calendar filled up with lots of meetings that will probably be a waste of your time? Do you often feel stressed and overwhelmed? If you answered yes to most or all of those questions, what I'm about to share with you will certainly help. Let me be direct and a little challenging with you. Are you happy to be like most managers and get stressed and overwhelmed by all the demands on your time? Follow the herd, keep your head down, answer all those emails, go to every meeting, jump every time your boss calls, and continue to feel stressed for the rest of your career? Or are you prepared to make your own path and do things a little differently in a far smarter way? If you don't find a way to solve those problems, the rest of your career is likely to be exactly the same. You won't find much enjoyment in what you do, you won't achieve the sort of results you'd like to, and years of stress will take its toll on your health and also your personal life. Most managers don't run their lives in the way I'm about to share with you, and most bosses that you come across will not run their lives in this way either. But none of that means that you shouldn't walk this path, because this path leads to more happiness, improved results, faster career progression, and far less stress. Curious? The path I'm about to describe to you is based on one simple principle that you've probably already heard of. But I can almost guarantee that you've never considered this principle in the way I'll describe it to you, nor really taken it that seriously. And it makes everything you've ever heard about time management completely redundant. The principle I'm talking about is the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 principle as it's better known. The 80-20 principle explains the relationship between causes and effects, between inputs and outputs, and between activity and results. And it simply states this: 80% of your results, your outputs, and the things that you want will be caused by only 20% of the things that you do, the decisions you take, and the time that you spend. And conversely, a whopping 80% of your time, decisions, and activities cause only 20% of your results. And please don't get too hung up on the exact numbers of 80 and 20. It could be 70-30 or even 95-5. Said in simple terms, only a few things that you're currently doing are giving you most of what you want. And most of what you're doing isn't that important. In terms of causes and effects, the world isn't balanced or average or 50-50, however much we'd like it to be or however much we feel it should be. A vital few things cause the biggest results, and the trivial many things cause the smallest results. Since the principle was first published by Vilfredo Pareto in 1906, it's been proven by research to be true in hundreds of situations, and it's taught in all the business schools in the world. Let me give you a few specific examples to show you how this works. 80% of the profits that your business makes will probably come from only 20% of your customers. Most of your sales are probably not that profitable, or may actually be in fact losing you money. 80% of your business's value will be caused or created by about 20% of the people that work in it. Most of the employees or team members aren't contributing that much to the total value. Only 20% of the total emails, calls, and meetings that you attend to generate 80% of the total value that you create. Most of the other 80% are a waste of your time and energy. Following this principle, it's also logical to assume that the majority of managers spend most of their time on low-value activities, and only a minority of managers spend most of their time on the most valuable activities. That's why that minority are the ones that get promoted. When you start to see the world through this lens, then life gets a whole lot easier. You'll never be short of time again, and you'll never have too much to do. All of your time, attention, and energy will be focused like a laser beam on the vital few things that create the biggest results. So, 2 actions to make this real for you. Firstly, please download the template and spend just 5 minutes identifying where you're bleeding time and energy and where you should really be focusing your efforts. And secondly, go explain the 80-20 principle to your team or your colleagues and have a discussion about it and identify where your team should be focusing their time and attention. So as I said, if you believe even some of what I've shared with you here is true, then you can either ignore it and carry on as you have been, or you can actually start to think and act in accordance with that principle. Please don't finish this video and just go on to the next thing as if you haven't heard anything. That next email you're about to answer or the next meeting you're about to go to is probably not that important when it comes to you achieving your results. It may seem important to somebody else, but for you, it's probably not. Please don't just follow the herd. Start to look at things through this 80-20 lens. Your emails, meetings, phone calls, the decisions you make, other work activities that you do, and the people that you work with. And start to develop and explore your own path, one that's far more rewarding and far less stressful. So thank you for watching this video, and good luck.